Hello, I'm Ron Wilson and welcome back to PD Sessions. ASIC has gathered AFS licensees' insights to discover the most challenging aspects of complying with the FOFA reforms, with fee disclosure statements, and the best interest duty posing the greatest non-compliance risks. Internationally, US consumer confidence dipped after 4 consecutive months of improvement, and the European Central Bank allotted €82.6 billion to banks for purposes of supporting lending to the real economy. In other news, low-doc lenders have tightened their lending practices following the introduction of responsible lending laws. Trevor Trahan has the details.
ASIC has reviewed the industry's implementation of the FOFA reforms, which included details on the impact of FOFA and key challenges faced by AFS licensees, with fee disclosure statements, or FDSs, cited as a major hurdle. ASIC released its findings in Report 407, Review of the Financial Advice Industry's Implementation of the FOFA Reforms. Rep 407 found AFS licensees considered the best interest duty posed a relatively high risk of non-compliance in the future. To mitigate this risk, AFS licensees had revised their advice systems and procedures, and most relied on the safe harbour steps under the Corporations Act to demonstrate compliance with the best interest duty and related obligations. Approximately 10% of all insurance claims within super were attributed to mental illness and/or suicide, according to data collected by not-for-profit mental health foundation Superfriend. The Super Mental Illness National Data Project showed that from 2007 to 2011, claims related to suicide collectively cost Superfund's insurers over $200 million, with an average cost per claim of $120,410. Mental illness-related TBD claims cost $147.9 million, an average cost per claim of $82,960. The RBA decided to leave the official cash rate on hold at 2.5% in its October meeting and warned that volatility in financial markets has gathered pace. RBA Governor Glenn Stevens commented that global economic growth is continuing at a moderate pace and commodity prices in historical terms remain high. However, some of those commodity prices important to Australia have declined further in recent months. The Association of Southeast Asia Nations, or ASEAN, economy will be larger than that of the UK by 2020 and that of Japan by 2025, according to the United Overseas Bank. The rise of China, coupled with the establishment of the ASEAN Economic Community from 2015, is expected to provide new catalysts for ASEAN growth. After 4 consecutive months of improvement, US consumer confidence has dipped, according to the Conference Board Consumer Confidence Index. The index for September stood at 86.0, down from 93.4 in August. The Present Situation Index decreased to 89.4 from 93.9, while the Expectations Index dropped to 83.7 from 93.1 in August. In particular, consumers' outlook for business conditions and the jobs market deteriorated from the previous month. The European Central Bank has allotted €82.6 billion to 255 counterparties in the first of 8 targeted longer-term refinancing operations, or TLTROs, to be conducted between September 2014 and June 2016. The programme is designed to enhance the monetary policy transmission mechanism by supporting bank lending to the real economy. A total of 382 entities were eligible to bid in the first TLTRO, representing either directly or indirectly 1,372 credit institutions. The federal government has released the final budget outcome for 2013-14, confirming a $48.5 billion deficit. The government claimed the figure is more than a $30 billion deterioration in the year since former Treasurer Wayne Swan delivered his final budget. This deterioration consisted of a write-down in total revenue of more than $18 billion and policy decisions of just over $11 billion. In response, the government is taking the following measures: injecting $8.8 billion to restore the RBA's capital buffer, providing $571 million in 2013-14 and $2 billion over the forward estimates to amend a funding shortfall for offshore processing of illegal maritime arrivals, providing funding to public service agencies to meet the cost of unfunded redundancies arising from the previous Labour government's job cuts, and Clearing 96 announced but unlegislated tax and super measures. Low-doc lenders have tightened their lending practices following the introduction of responsible lending laws, according to an ASIC review of 12 lenders. Before the introduction of responsible lending laws in 2010, some lenders did not verify a borrower's financial situation for low-doc loans. Instead, lenders often simply relied on a statement from the borrower that they could meet their repayments. This led, in some cases, to borrowers not being able to pay back the loan, or only being able to do so by selling their home. The transition to MySuper is happening faster than expected, with 93 registered superannuation entity or RSE licensees offering a total of 116 MySuper products as at 30 June 2014. This occurred in a period of only 18 months from the time that RSE licensees were first able to apply to APRA for authorisation to offer a MySuper product on 1 January 2013.